160 clamps with room to spare. Hi, welcome back to Shawnee Hills Workshop. Today, I want to take one of my favorite pieces of shop furniture and make it even better. Now, as a child, I grew up watching Norm Abram on the New Yankee Workshop, and like I'm sure a lot of you have, I've taken a lot of the inspiration in my shop from him, and this cart is no different. I built this cart almost 20 years ago based on one that I saw him build on his show. This rack has storage on the front and back that fits a variety of sizes of pipe and bar clamps. It's got a shelf on the bottom for any extras you may need. There's places to put spring clamps, and then I added a rack on the side for my pipe clamps. It's been great, it's served me well. The only problem is I've outgrown it. You know, almost 20 years ago when I built this, I probably had 10 clamps, and when I built it, I probably thought there's no way I would ever fill it. Well, now not only have I filled it, but I had to build an extension on the side. I've got piles of clamps in the bottom, and honestly, I still think there are some clamps that I could use, so it needs to be a little bit bigger. My first thought was to build a new one that's larger to accept all my clamps. But I actually like the size of this. At the base, it's 21 inches by 24 inches. Not only does it not take up much room, but it's also easy to maneuver in the shop. Then also, to be honest, I've got a little bit of sentimental attachment to this. I think this may be the only piece of shop furniture I have that has lasted the test of time, that I haven't either been unhappy with and changed or went a different direction. It's just worked, and I really want to keep it around. So I've thought about it a little bit, and I thought of a few upgrades that I can take and make this cart what I believe to be the ultimate clamp cart. So let's get all these clamps off the rack, take a look at it, and let's make something awesome. So I know there is a lot of debate online over what's better, a rolling cart or a rack on the wall. My stance is now and has always been that the rolling cart is better, but I just want you to take something in right now. If you're still on the wall rack side, I want you to think about something here. 21 by 24 inches, that's the base size. 160 clamps in a 21 by 24 inch base. That is why I love this cart. Now that is a mixture of all types of clamps. That is parallel clamps, that's bar clamps, F-style clamps, pipe clamps, C-clamps, spring clamps, big and small, everything in between. But to me, you just cannot get that kind of storage on the wall. And I also like that even with all those clamps, I can easily roll it over to my assembly table, do what I need to do, and then when I'm done, I push it right back up against the wall. So it's in the same spot the wall rack would be anyway. All right, well that's enough on the debate of cart versus rack. Let's take a closer look at the cart and I'll show you what I've got in mind. So the first thing we need to do is remove this little extension I put on here. This is one of those things you do in just a few minutes just to get by. I was running out of room and I just wanted to move my pipe clamps to the side, so I just screwed this onto the side. Who else is a cheapskate and saves all of their old screws? All right, so here's the plan. Originally, I built a little, I don't know if you want to call it a drawer here because it doesn't pull out, but just a little cavity to be able to set small, clamps and loose things in. I also have kept wax paper down in here for when I'm doing glue ups, and I used to keep bottles of glue, but I can no longer keep that stuff in there because I just don't have the room. But my plan is to cut out a rectangle shape, one a little bit wider at the bottom, and then on the top a narrower one. And I'm gonna make two drawers, one that pulls out this side and one that pulls out the other side. These drawers are not gonna be drawers that you put stuff in the bottom, they're gonna be vertical drawers that you hang stuff on either side of it. That allows me to put only long clamps on the outside of the cart, and then all the shorter stuff I can store in these vertical drawers. If by now I've convinced you that a cart is way better than a wall rack, once I get done making these modifications, I'm gonna put plans on my website. So if you wanna build one for yourself, you go to my website, ShawneeHillsWorkshop.com, and download some plans. Now, if you're wondering why you would need plans for a clamp rack, you don't. It's simple. It's 1x4s, plywood and pine, simple. What it will help you with is the spacing, to get the right spacing for clamps, so it's just easier and just makes you not have to think about it. This is one of those projects that would have been a lot easier to just rebuild as opposed to trying to modify the existing one. But like I said, there's some sentimental value here, so we're gonna make it work. And I'm going to take these same boards that were the dividers here for the little drawer at the bottom and just slide them over and screw them back in place. And that's what I'll mount my drawer slides to. All right, so now that we've got the side cut out and the bottom reworked, we just need to make a drawer that fits that opening. All right, so we got the first part finished. First drawer is installed. I've loaded up some clamps just to see how it works. I'm having to hold the top of the car right now because without the weight of all the other clamps, it'll tip over. Which is also why my next drawer is going to be pulled out on the other side. That way you can have both of them pulled out at the same time as opposed to the possibility of the two of them opening up and tilting the cart over. So now we just got to do the exact same thing, only smaller. I love this tool. So here it is, what do you think? I could not be happier with it. With the 2 drawers pulling out, now I can see every clamp I own. Now I have a lot of room extra to where I can add more. On the front, I have all my parallel clamps. I was going to abandon the side storage for the pipe clamps, but the more I thought about it, it actually is a really good way to store them. I just changed it a little bit. I added this bottom piece right here to keep the pipe clamp straight up and down. Before, I had a bottom piece screwed to the bottom that some of the longer clamps set on, and it was just not attached well and it didn't work out great. But I really like this. I have the drawer on the right, the upper drawer that has all of my spring clamps and C clamps. The drawer on the bottom left has all of my F clamps, and at the bottom of it has all my spare parts, extra parts for making more pipe clamps if I ever need to. On the back, I have my quick grips, my longer F-style clamps, and some of my pipe clamp overflow, and 1 bar clamp there. So what do you think? If you like it, hit that thumbs up. If you don't like it, hit the thumbs down, but tell me what you don't like about it. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and we'll see you next time. But in the meantime, go make something awesome.